Hello everyone, flash floods in Venezuela can be particularly deadly as they often occur in densely populated urban areas with poor infrastructure and limited emergency response capabilities. These sudden and intense floods have been quickly overwhelmed rivers, streams, and drainage systems, leading to dangerous and destructive consequences. Watch until the end and let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's get it on!
Hello there! Today's video is about flash flood. Flash floods are distinguished from regular floods by having a time scale of fewer than 6 hours between rainfall and the onset of flooding. To know how devastating the flash floods are, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more videos.
An incident on the 4th of November 2022 in Antarctica, Venezuela in the state of Antarctica, an avalanche triggered by heavy rains has destroyed thousands of homes in the coastal region of Venezuela. There were a lot of heavy damage has been recorded due to heavy rains here.
Ya va, porque me tumba el teléfono.
Viral video of flash floods in Barquisimeto, Lara, Venezuela on March 11, 2022. Floods were seen in 10 sectors of the city as drains were unable to contain the volume of water. Roads filled with water, stopping traffic and causing pedestrians to lose their footing. Houses flooded with belongings destroyed, businesses closed as produce was ruined. As floodwaters subsided, debris filled the streets. Authorities are working to assess the extent of the flood's impact. Flash floods occur in Venezuela due to heavy rainfall, typically during the rainy season that lasts from May to November. The country's topography, including steep slopes and narrow river valleys, makes it particularly susceptible to flash floods. When rainfall exceeds the capacity of local drainage systems, rivers and streams overflow their banks and inundate surrounding areas. The resultant floodwaters can move at incredible speeds, carrying away cars, trees, and even entire buildings. At least 20 people are dead after heavy rains triggered mudslides and flooding in Venezuela. Hundreds of homes have been destroyed and almost 55,000 people have been affected in the worst hit Andean state of Merida. Some towns have been cut off from both power and communications, with main streets covered in a thick layer of mud, rocks, and debris. One of the most devastating flash floods in recent years occurred in December 1999 when heavy rainfall caused the Lara River, which runs through the capital city of Caracas, to overflow. The resultant floods caused widespread destruction and claimed the lives of thousands of people. The government response to the disaster was criticized for being slow and inadequate, leading to increased public scrutiny of disaster preparedness in Venezuela. Is the government of this country too indifferent to natural disasters when they have large reserves of oil available? Do not forget press the button of like, subscribe and comment what you think for these cruise ship disasters. In addition to flash floods, landslides are also a significant concern in Venezuela. The country's steep terrain and heavy rainfall have caused soil instability, leading to landslides that caused to bury entire communities. The resulting landslides can block roads and rivers, further exacerbating the damage caused by flash floods. The most severely affected areas were in the northern region of the country, including the capital city of Caracas. The Guayra River, which runs through the herds of Caracas, overflowed its banks, causing widespread flooding throughout the city. The floods destroyed numerous homes and buildings, and the resulting landslides buried entire neighborhoods under a sea of mud and debris. The lack of infrastructure and resources in the affected areas made it difficult for rescue and relief efforts to reach those in need.
La verdad que todas las personas que puedan ayudar, vamos a tener el centro de acopio.
Por las calderas, los olivos. Ajá. Ay, madre.
Many of the victims were buried alive in landslides, while others drowned in the floodwaters. The disaster also had long-lasting impacts on the country's economy and social structure, with many people losing their homes and livelihoods and having to rebuild their lives from scratch. The severe rainfall in Henan caused a major flood, resulting in heavy casualties in Zhengzhou and other places, which was officially declared as a disaster once in 1,000 years. Videos on social networking sites showed many residents swept away by the water and a large number of vehicles floating on the surface. 3 subways in Zhengzhou City were also submerged by tumbling floodwaters, with the deepest depth exceeding 2 meters. Oh my God! On July 20th, many places in northern Henan province were devastated by a huge rainstorm. The Zhengzhou city was completely flooded and paralyzed. Zhengzhou-Jingzhuang Road Tunnel, a 4-kilometer-long tunnel with 2-way 6 lanes, was filled with flood water in 5 minutes during the rush hour on July 20th. Hundreds of cars were trapped in the tunnel, and the real casualties are a mystery. You know, flash floods can occur anywhere in the world, but they are more common in areas with steep terrain, dry soil, or high levels of urbanization. Dramatic footage shows the moment an entire block of houses is swept away down a hill in Kerala, following unprecedented flooding in the southern Indian states, which has left hundreds of people dead. The 40 residents of the homes had already been evacuated, but scores of others have lost their lives in the flooding, and a state of emergency has been declared. This was the worst flooding in 100 years in India. Rescuers are battling torrential rains to save residents. With more than 200,000 people left homeless in camps, may God protect them more. Middle floods, Vietnam, 2022. Rain started pouring Saturday night in King Son district, which borders Laos, and flood was recorded from 4 a.m. as water poured down from upstream. Hundreds of houses were flooded by heavy rains in Mu Seng town in Yunnan province, with housing appliances and vehicles carried away by the strong flow. After that, the water was over 2 meters high, forcing many people to carry their stuff to higher areas. And this was flash floods occurring in Hang Su Vinh Ha, Giang province, Vietnam. In February 2021, the northern Indian state of Uttarakhand experienced severe flash flooding, which was caused by a glacial outburst flood triggered by a burst glacier in the Himalayas. The disaster also led to the evacuation of thousands of people who were forced to flee their homes as the water levels rose rapidly. Rescue efforts were hampered by the difficult terrain and extreme weather conditions, including heavy snowfall and rain, which made it challenging for rescue teams to access the affected areas. One comment watched these scenes and said, "Funny, it's like a tsunami, but the people were doing a moonlight walk. People act like they are not too bright when it's come to a possibility of suffering harm or injury. Water coming down the road and the people just take their time walking away. Are not they scared? What do you think about residents here?" Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. Now let's continue. Jakarta floods, Indonesia, 2020. Flash floods in Indonesia's capital city have left more than dozens of people dead and forced nearly 30,000 to flee their homes. Heavy rain poured on 5th January 2020. As seen on the video, the residents were trying to save the motorcycle but unable to do as the house collapsed due to rainwater flowing caused by heavy rain. It is unclear if the residents were injured.
In a rear video, water is shown rushing through a street, inundating parked cars and threatening to wash them away. Flash floods brought by a large storm swept down to streets of Catalonia, leaving at least one person dead and 4 others missing. The flooding affected 46 roads in the northeastern region, leaving the majority of them closed. torrential rains has caused flooding and transport chaos across large part of northern England and the Midlands. Dozens of people were trapped in Sheffield's Middlewell shopping center of Thursday night after the nearby river flooded the surroundings. Whoa! Water floods on my street after heavy rain. Unbelievable! Farmers step up if flashes floods hit her in their country. It's shocking how they can come together to help out everyone who travels on this road, but they have to protest of the better price for the cattle of factories. Now let's press the button of like, share and comment what do you think for this. Windsor reach major flow levels at bridge submerged like this. Across Germany and Belgium, search and rescue operations are on the way. The German military used armored vehicles to clear out routes which had been overwhelmed by flooded waters. Rescuers searched a submerged vehicle on a road near the town of Accra. Areas in the Gard region near Montpellier, France, were hit by 2 months of rain in the space of 2 hours. Oh my God! Roads were completely submerged flowing heavy rains and floods. Vehicles submerged in mild water as flood ravages busy road. Heavy downpours on Monday night submerged road, flooded metro stations and caused blackouts across Seoul, Korea and neighboring provinces. Some areas received the highest rate of rainfall in 18 years, Korea's meteorological agency said. Dumfries has experienced heavy flooding, leading to a danger to life running from the Met's office. The public is being advised to stay away from the White Sand area due to the flood and hiding hazard. The flood water has entered Fried Venal and is covering the road at the White Sands Shakespeare Street Junction. Bedford View, residents and motorists have shared pictures and videos of the afternoon spent on the highways approaching Gillolee's interchange. Just after interchange was closed to traffic due to flash flooding.
From the relentless force of ocean waves crashing against rocky shores to the mighty rush of a raging river carrying its path through mountains, water exhibits a remarkable ability to transform the world around us. We will marvel at the immense forces unleashed during floods and hurricanes, and its potential for destruction. Watch until the end and let us know thoughts in the comment section. Let's get it on! One of the primary manifestations of water strength during floods is its ability to rapidly and forcefully move large volumes of water. This fast-moving water can easily overcome obstacles in its path, including trees, vehicles, and even buildings. Water's strength during floods is also evident in its capacity to displace and carry away objects of substantial weight. Debris, such as fallen trees, vehicles were swept along by the powerful currents, transforming them into dangerous projectiles that can cause further destruction and pose threats to human safety. Floods demonstrate the overwhelming force of water as it overflows river banks and engulfs entire communities. The sheer force of the water can result in the collapse of structures and the erosion of the underlying soil, exacerbating the damage caused by the flood. Floods demonstrate the overwhelming force of water as it overflows the riverbanks and engulfs entire communities. The sheer volume and speed of water during a flood can demolish structures. One of the primary manifestations of water's strength during floods is its ability to rapidly and forcefully move large volumes of water. This fast-moving water can easily overcome obstacles in its path. The sheer force of the water can result in the collapse of structures and the erosion of the underlying soil, exacerbating the damage caused by the flood. Strong currents can sweep individuals off their feet, making it extremely difficult to maintain balance and navigate through the water. The force of the water can make it nearly impossible to swim against the current, increasing the risk of drowning. What do you think about the future of this guy? Do not forget to press the button of like, subscribe and comment what do you think for those cruise ship disasters. A tree was washed away by flood water after heavy rain in Ellicott City, Shaanxi Province, China. The herd was crossing a bridge built across Harper River when the water level started rising suddenly. As the water rose, the scared herd huddled together. Villagers made noise and tried to make the herd across the bridge. Local villagers managed to save some animals, but many struggled to swim to the shore. At least 25 animals, nearly half of the herd, perished in the tragedy. Perhaps these poor animals have never understood the terrible power of water. Floodwaters seep into the foundations of buildings, weakening their structural integrity and causing them to collapse or become uninhabitable. The erosive action of the water creates voids beneath the foundation of the houses. The water exerts immense pressure on the walls. The hydrostatic pressure can cause walls to crack or collapse, particularly if they are not designed to withstand such forces. The pressure exerted by the water can erode the soil beneath roads and cause them to sink or wash away entirely. The fast-flowing floodwater exerts significant force on the car, pushing it with the current. A sudden increase in water level rapidly sweeps away parked cars, even if they were initially positioned in relatively safe areas. As the floodwaters continues to rise and flow, it exerts drag and displaces the car downstream. The force of the water against the vehicle's body hinders its movement or causes it to spin, making it challenging for drivers or bystanders to intervene. Ellicott City is a town located in Howard County, Maryland, United States. Ellicott City is characterized by rolling hills and valleys. The town is situated in the valley of the Patapsco River, which flows through the area. On the evening of May 27, 2018, a severe thunderstorm hit the area, resulting in intense rainfall rates and rapidly rising water levels. The storm produced an extraordinary amount of rainfall within a short period, exceeding 8 inches, 20 centimeters in just a few hours.
Jesus Christ. Oh, they're all going down.
The heavy rainfall overwhelmed the natural drainage system and caused a sudden surge of water that turned the streets into raging rivers. The velocity and force of the water were amplified as it cascaded down the narrow streets and alleyways. The flash floods resulted in destructive power, with cars being swept away, buildings collapsing, and debris carried downstream. The surging waters tore through the heart of the town. Accra is the capital city of Ghana, located on the Atlantic coast in West Africa. Accra has a relatively flat topography, with some parts of the city situated in low-lying areas. These low-lying areas are more susceptible to flooding, especially during periods of heavy rainfall. Accra is intersected by several small rivers and streams, including the Odal River and its tributaries. During heavy rainfall events, these waterways can overflow and lead to localized flooding. Accra is home to informal settlements, such as slums and shanty towns, where residents often live in areas vulnerable to flooding. These settlements typically lack proper infrastructure and are more susceptible to the impacts of floods. Do not forget, press the button of like, subscribe and comment what do you think for these cruise ship disasters. One of the longest river valleys in Saudi Arabia, the Wadi al-Rumma, is overflowing with water. Stretching over almost 600 kilometers, the valley has flooded after 2 weeks of heavy rainfall in the eastern parts of the Qasim region. The river valley had been almost dried up for years and partly blocked by encroaching sand dunes. Rio de Janeiro is a city located on the southeastern coast of Brazil. Rio de Janeiro is bordered by the scenic Guanabara Bay, a large bay connected to the Atlantic Ocean. The bay's geography influences tidal patterns and impact water flow during heavy rainfall events. Rio de Janeiro experiences a tropical savanna climate with distinct wet and dry seasons. The city receives the majority of its rainfall between December and March. Intense rainfall during these months, often associated with thunderstorms, and lead to flash floods in low-lying areas. Gansu province is located in the northwest part of China. Gansu is a mountainous region with diverse topography. The province is bisected by the Accra corridor, a narrow strip of fertile land surrounded by mountains. To the north lies the Gobi Desert, while the Kilian Mountains and the Tibetan Plateau are located to the south. Flash floods occur along these river valleys during periods of intense rainfall or when there is a sudden release of water from upstream reservoirs. Kenya straddles the equator and has a varied geography, including coastal plains, the Great Rift Valley, highlands, and savannas. However, it's not often nice like that. Heavy floods in Kenya have killed at least 4 people and some others missed. They include police officers who were on a rescue mission in the West Pokot region. Schools, homes, and a market are underwater. Meanwhile, over 200 residents from Mokowe, Lamu County will spend the night in the cold after their houses were swept away by floods following a heavy downpour. Can you imagine your house being washed away by floods while both your wife and beloved children have to be outdoors in the cold nights? Oh my God! South Africa has unique geography. It is located at the southern tip of the African continent. The country has a diverse geography that includes coastal plains, mountain ranges, plateaus, and the famous Drakensberg Mountains. South Africa has varied climates that cause some natural disasters, including floods. Urban areas in South Africa are particularly vulnerable to flooding due to their high population density, inadequate drainage systems, and the presence of impermeable surfaces. Heavy rainfall overwhelms urban drainage systems, leading to localized flooding in streets and neighborhoods. Would you like to live in a flood in South Africa like this? Do not forget to press the button of like, subscribe and comment what do you think for these cruise ship disasters. A country lies on the equator and is characterized by diverse landscapes, including savannas, mountains, lakes, and the source of the Nile River. That's Uganda. It is a landlocked country located in East Africa. Flooding has cut off a section of Kampala-Masaka Road following heavy rains that caused River Katanga to burst its banks. A section of the bridge had collapsed under the weight of the water, and residents are forced to build a temporary bridge. The flooding has been blamed on extensive agriculture and construction in the wetland the road cuts through. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is the second largest country in Africa. The country is blessed with diverse landscapes, including dense forests, savannas, mountains, and the Congo River, which is the second longest river in Africa. Flash floods and landslides have swept through villages in the Democratic Republic of Congo's Kalehe territory after torrential rains. The vast river network, combined with heavy rainfall, increases the likelihood of riverine flooding. When these rivers exceed their capacity, they overflow, causing widespread flooding in nearby areas. Congo's diverse topography, including mountains, plateaus, and plains, influences the flow of water during heavy rainfall. In areas with steep slopes or inadequate drainage systems, runoff can accumulate and cause flash floods and localized flooding.
What do you think about this kind of natural disasters? Do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment here. Thanks for watching.